Welcome to the Nerd Party.
Hello, I'm Charlene Schmidt.
I'm Patrick Schmidt.
We just watched Movements of Fire and Shadow, episode 17 of season 5 of Babylon 5. Time to babble for 5. We can learn some lessons from all of this. Some nuggets of information.
Yes, absolutely.
Number 1, don't f*** with jump gates.
Jump gates have been like my big hang-up. It's no coincidence in my mind that jump gates all of a sudden became the key to the war.
Veer points out another thing where it's a courtesy, a common courtesy where if you kill your enemies, you return the bodies. And we come to find out, though, why there were no bodies returned. It's because there are no bodies.
Dun, dun, dun.
But before we get into all that...
Okay, we're gonna slow our roll here just a little bit.
There's one more thing, and this is not a new one.
Okay.
You don't attack civilians.
Why is this still even a thought? Why is this even a thing?
Is the Interstellar Alliance a bunch of BS?
I think that's what we're about to find out. Honestly, I think we're about to find out if the Interstellar Alliance is what it says it is, or if these races really do just want war.
Yeah, it seems to me that everybody's using the Interstellar Alliance to protect their own interests.
It's a sad indictment, not necessarily on leadership, not necessarily on Sheridan or Delenn, but on those involved.
So with that, how about we talk about what's happening on Centauri Prime? The Regent is living his last day, apparently, is fully aware of that. If you were in that situation, how would you feel knowing that that's going to be your last day alive?
I think it's got to be a disconcerting feeling to know not only it's your last day, but that you have no control over it. Or you've ceded that control, you've given up. And that's maybe the difference between the Regent here and Londo, is that Londo hasn't quite given up yet.
Londo, I think, still has not completely figured out what has been going on Centauri Prime. We're getting little tiny clues, but we still don't know yet either.
You know, they laid out the theories pretty well in this episode, and I appreciate that because I'm not that smart. It might be from the Shadows and their agents, it might be from the Drazi, or the Narn trying to gain their revenge. But I also think we keep getting hints of this, that the Psi Corps is involved somehow. And lest we forget, they've got a base in hyperspace. I keep waiting for that nugget of information to pay off.
A lot is going on in hyperspace, too. Right now, we've got a white star with Delenn and Lennier pretty badly damaged. Any theories as to how that might go down?
I think they're going to survive one way or another. Lennier might not make it because, you know, having a broken leg in two places, it's not life-threatening, but they're also in the middle of hyperspace with no doctors.
Well, let's be honest here. When it comes to sacrificial victims, Lennier is a prime target.
Well, and there would be nothing more poetic for Lennier in his mind than to die at Delenn's side.
Right, in the same way that Marcus died to save Susan.
What's with all these half-men in Babylon 5?
Half-men?
These half-men, they think they're doing the noble thing, but they're just being a bunch of selfish jerk-asses.
Well,
men.
I believe you're describing men.
Men, right? Men.
Sorry, guys. There is this weird kind of almost entitlement to noble sacrifice.
And we're seeing the worst versions of it in Babylon 5.
Let's talk about who I think is still one of your favorite characters. Is she? Lyta? Mm-hmm. Yeah, going on a little adventure with Dr. Franklin.
The odd couple looking for their hotel.
Because he won't ask for directions.
Men.
Fucking men. I love this version of Lyta who's not taking from nobody. She's getting a little more ruthless.
Yeah, I mean, they already shot at her. They were trying to get her. And somehow that chair was it was built of like pure titanium or something.
Hey, the Drazi go for quality, man.
Apparently, that chair saved their lives. And then she just pops out from behind. It's like, no, not today, mother. They had a nice little adventure, and I think they're, turning over some keys as well.
It's kind of super important that they're there already.
Yeah. And they got to reuse the sets.
It's so true, right? Garibaldi's hotel room, the whole bit, just minus the liquor. Speaking of Garibaldi, seems like he might be holding it together at the moment.
Oh, I just keep waiting for the mistake that leads to millions of innocent deaths, and it's on his hands.
We were set up for that in this episode, were we not?
We were.
Oh, it pains me to think that millions of people might die because of one person just hitting it.
We tend to not realize kind of the chaos of war, where one person's actions change the lives of millions of others. We like to think that there's a reasoning behind it and that there's rationalization and logic. Lots of times there's not. Lots of times it just happens.
I guess that is the last lesson we get out of this episode in our war lessons, is the fact that sometimes the chaos of war is strictly for chaos's sake. I have a question for you all. What was the gift that John gave to Delenn that by Minbari standards looked silly?
Yeah, we never got that question answered.
No, and I really want to know what it was. So you guys tell me in the comments, and you know what? Maybe we'll pin our favorite answer for this episode.
Yeah. In the meantime, hit like, hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Of course, the whole idea behind this series is that I have never seen Babylon 5 before. Correct. So please don't spoil anything that comes after this, because I don't know what's coming. Yeah,
please and thank you. Our regulars who chime in every single week, we love you, and thank you so much for being so on top of that, but also chiming in and having awesome things to say. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And we're going to go watch the next episode. So
yeah, we're getting into some exciting stuff here. Yeah. Let's be honest, war is kind of exciting.
I'd rather watch it on TV than live it in real life.
Hell yeah. So with that, let's go watch some more.
Yeah, till next week, guys.